Welcome to Inside the Meal. We talk real fitness, real results, and the stories to prove it. Welcome back to another episode Inside the Meal podcast. Coach Christian here, my main man Seth, and today we're going to talk about the top 5 fat loss questions that we get at the Vitality Meal. And if you're over 40 trying to lose fat, chances are you've asked one of these questions today. You're working out, you're trying to eat better, but the scale just isn't moving the way that you've expected it to. So these are the top 5 questions that we've got and that we really get every single week from some of our clients inside the Vitality Meal. Question number 1, why am I gaining weight even though I'm eating less? Man, first question I would ask this person that's asking this is, what does eating less even mean? Like, what do you mean by eating less? Because a lot of times we feel like we're eating less, but how do we actually get to the facts and know, am I eating less food? And so that's the first thing that I would ask that person there. And another way that you could take that as well is, you eat in an extreme calorie deficit for an extended period of time. Eventually, our bodies are meant to adapt to the environment that we put it into, to the things that we throw at it. And so that's our body eventually. Like if you're eating in an extreme calorie deficit, then if you're not eating in a calorie deficit anymore, then you're not going to lose fat. And a lot of times, like, it could be through the stress that your body's having. Like our body is going to want to hang on to anything if it knows that we're not going to get food and we're not going to fuel it properly and get enough protein and take care of it. So that's you're almost looking at 2 different ends of the spectrum here. Like some people feel like they're eating less, but they're actually not. And then some people are eating less for an extended period of time. Their body and their metabolism adapts to that. And then through the stress that they're putting it through, it's just going to hang on to whatever it can because it knows like, hey, you're not feeding me the way that you're supposed to. You're not taking care of your body the way you're supposed to. So kind of two different ways that you can look at it there. What you think? It's on you.
Um,
And we can touch on the first part too with, people that say, hey, I feel like I'm eating less. This is with our clients. We like to get to the data and go, okay, well, can you commit to tracking for 2 weeks? For 2 weeks, track everything, whether it be the liquids that you take in. I mean, anything that you eat, drink, track that for 2 weeks, and then we can kind of go from there. But it's committing to that. Like if you want to lose weight bad enough, yeah, it sucks to track. It's more inconvenient. But if you want to actually get the results, we've got to be able to do that because without facts, we're not going to be able to know, are you actually eating in a calorie deficit or not?
that's what the majority are commenting off of how much they, for example, went 38 days without having any sugar. Over the weekend had some sugar. Courtney got a cupcake, whatever. During that 38 days, I'm not having sugar. I know that I'm taking something out of my nutrition that
Could cause a calorie.
I don't get anything from it necessarily. It don't help my body necessarily. So like I think,
Cutting that out alone should make you lose weight.
but at the same time, I was following my nutrition plan from my coach, and we aren't focused on so much how many calories and stuff. I mean, he knows how many calories
Yeah.
I'm eating and how many grams of protein from the foods you give me, but he's just giving me a plan that says, here's what I want you to eat for the next 2 weeks. That's what I was have a little bit of orange juice, have this, do these little things. And so I start adding these little things in, and I'm eating the calories that he's giving me. But again, my story and the way I'm looking at it is like, I'm not having any sugar, so I'm going to start dropping weight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start. And then I get on the scale and, 2, 3 pounds up, 4 or 5 pounds up over the course of, a month or so. The facts were I wasn't eating in a calorie deficit. So I'm going to put on a little bit of weight because we're preparing for a half marathon.
Yeah.
And I got to get my body
Got to feel yourself.
ramped up for that. But then also doesn't want me to be in a calorie deficit because of the extra running and things like that. And we're trying to make sure my recovery stuff's good. My point is we look at things and we say, okay, well, but it comes down to calories and
100%.
calories that you're eating. So it's not and your protein. So it's not well, I didn't eat any sugar or I didn't drink any alcohol, but you can still be overeating on those and still gain weight, even though that you're feel like you're
Yes.
doing a lot better than you usually would do. So, somebody could eat a triple hamburger at Whataburger, and they do that every day, and then they start to, "Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna have that anymore. I'm gonna start watching what I eat." Maybe they do 3 hamburgers instead of a big burger. It's still like it's still calories and it's
Yes,
still there, so I don't know, it's that, like we always talk about, let's get to the facts first, because if we're not focusing
100%.
on the facts, then our feelings are going to not necessarily, point us in the right direction, so
Yep. Yep. 100%. Question number two: do I need to cut carbs to lose fat? First off, that's a big no. You don't have to cut carbs to lose fat. Second thing that I would ask this person is, would you like to not have carbs the rest of your life? And for most of us, we like potatoes, we like rice, we like a lot of things that have carbs in it. And so I would say, do you feel like this is something that you could sustain for the rest of your life? And if it's not, then that's not the answer, because we're not looking for a temporary fix. We're not just trying to, um, do something that's going to work for, 42 days. And then after the 42 days, you're just going to rebound and bounce back. And that's what a lot of people do, is they go to such an extreme that the rebound from that extreme is an extreme rebound. And what leads to like that endless cut and restrict and then rebound back, cut and restrict, rebound back. And because this is something I say all the time, is losing weight isn't the hard part. It's keeping the weight off. People lose weight all the time to start the year off. They're going to, set themselves up. They're going to the gym, they're eating better, they're cutting their carbs, they're doing little things like that, and they lose weight, but they can't sustain it because they didn't set themselves up for a lifestyle change. They just kind of set themselves up to lose weight real quick. And so absolutely not. You do not have to cut carbs to lose fat.
just a macronutrient.
Yeah,
Is it I mean, it goes back down to how many calories we're eating, as long as we're in a calorie deficit, that's not too deep of a calorie deficit, but at the same time, with that 15 to 20%, we're gonna lose weight, we're going to see results, and it's just that it really depends on the person, on what they like to eat.
definitely.
If you don't like having carbohydrates and you don't like eating carbohydrates, then yeah, you can get away from eating them long term, I guess. But I mean, at some point, you're going to
Want to have
have
some.
carbs, and then so
And whenever you tell yourself I can't have carbs, and then you have it, yeah, exactly. What you focus on is what you get. So you tell yourself you can't have it, and then you do have it, and then you start to fall into that guilt and that shame cycle, and then you're mad at yourself. And so then you start eating off the rails, or you start beating yourself up in other ways. You try to run yourself into the ground in the gym, and you're not taking care of yourself like you should. And it just leads to not being able to get results that are in line with the results that you want. So
I think it comes down to, let's quit defining foods as this food's good, this food's bad.
yeah,
Let's say they're foods, and they have, the way I like to look at it's like they're foods, they have different price, cost.
yeah, yeah.
So, like I can have, and kinda like I was talking about a while ago, and I didn't explain it the best way. When I said the triple hamburger versus the 3 hamburgers, it could also be like this. Okay, well, I usually have a triple hamburger, it's 1,000 calories, but I changed it, and now I'm having a chicken salad, and I put ranch on my chicken salad, and I put a bunch of it 'cause I like ranch. And now I throw some bacon on my chicken salad as well. Well, that 1,000-calorie triple burger, once you start putting all the ranch and all the stuff on top of the bacon and
You're all
all the
that.
salad, you're right back to it. So it comes back down to just like looking at and going like, yeah, you could look at that triple hamburger, and that triple hamburger, you could say, definitely the triple hamburger's bad, and the chicken salad with all the ranch is good, but they're same calories.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we just got to take our mind off of this is good, this is bad. And like, yeah, there are foods that are going to be healthier for you, and vice versa. Put it more of a focus on, it's just food,
Yep.
and it comes at, and it have different costs on the food. So just like a $20 bill, it's money.
Yep.
$20 bill has more value to it than a dollar bill does.
Yeah. Good example. I had a talk with a client last night, and I have her tracking her food and everything, and I'm able to see everything that she logs on my Fitness Pal. And she was coming up to me and just like, "Hey, I'm caught in a plateau. Like, I'm not able to lose weight." And I told her, "Hey, I looked at your calories and everything that you're tracking." And she goes, "Is it because of the Hershey Kisses that I'm having every night. And there's like 3 little Hershey Kisses for 3 of them, 100 calories. I told her it's not that at all, but what it is whenever your dinner's like, she'll do great for breakfast, very consistent, same breakfast every day, pretty much the same lunch every single day. And then for dinner, one day it was Chick-fil-A. The next day it was Qdoba. Then the next day after that it was Cane's. And so these foods that she's eating, she sees, and she's making good choices as far as making sure that what she gets from Chick-fil-A has protein in it. What she gets from Qdoba has protein in it. But what she doesn't know is, yeah, they might say, hey, for this meal, it's 550 calories. I just watched a video yesterday, actually, of this lady went to Qdoba. They advertised that bowl as a 550 calorie bowl. She took it home, weighed everything out. It was a 1,300 calorie bowl. And so it was double what she thought it was. And in her mind, almost triple. Yeah. And in her mind, she goes, I think I'm doing good. I just ate a 550 calorie bowl. But what she's unaware of is she didn't cook that food. She didn't prep that food. And so with this client that I'm talking about, hey, it's the 100 calorie Hershey Kisses is not the issue. It's what you're having before that and then following it up with. And then you're repeating that day after day. I told her, I want you to keep having those Hershey Kisses every night because it helps cure your sweet tooth. But what I do want you to do is I want you to prep your dinner. That's all I want you to change. That simple change, you can continue to have that. But the main point that I'm getting at here is you can still work things into your nutrition, but you can't have a multitude of those things in there because that's when the calories start to pile up. And so I guarantee you next week, her just making that change of eating a consistent dinner every night, not going out to eat, and still having those Hershey Kisses, it should put her in a calorie deficit.
Kudos to her to be able to eat greens.
Yeah. Well, that's what she was telling me. She goes, it helps cure my sweet tooth, but they don't taste that good to me where I'm going to plow a whole bag. So I was like, there you go. All right. Question number 3, how many days per week should I work out? Man, this is can answer us a few different ways. Our clients at the Vitality Mill, we want them to work out minimum 3 days a week is what we want to see them. And for the most part, that's really the sweet spot with our clients. If we get in 3 strength training days and those other days, we're just making sure that we're getting our steps in, um, and focusing on all the other things, but making feeling like you got to work out all 7 days, that's not enough time to recover. Even for some of our clients, 5 days is overwhelming to them. They have jobs, they have kids, they have families, and so like 3 days has been the sweet spot, and that's going to allow them to get their strength training days in, build some muscle, but still be able to focus on life outside of the gym, and just having good habits outside the gym is the direction that we got them in. But this question is very broad. This is going to be customized around this specific individual. So I'd be talking to them about their lifestyle first and then be able to guide them in the right direction from there.
Yeah, when we say 3 days, those are 3 days of strength training,
Yeah.
and then every day we need to be moving,
Mhm.
getting your steps in. Those clients that are only coming in 3 days are doing 3 days of, full body strength training, but then they're also making sure they're getting their steps in every single day as well, and mobility, flexibility stuff as well. But yeah, so you don't have to work out every single day, but if you're in a calorie deficit, and if you're wanting to lose weight, you're in a calorie deficit, you're getting 3 days a week strength training,
Yeah.
maybe 4 days, and then you're getting your steps in.
That's it. You don't have to work out every day, but you do need to move your body every day. So whenever though you're not working out those days, that doesn't mean just be lazy and just sit around and hang out and not focus on your steps and just completely take off days. We can stretch those days. We can get your steps in. So every day you should be doing something intentional to move your body. Question number 4, why do I lose weight during the week, but gain it back on the weekend? I'm going to let Seth lead this one off here.
It's the same thing. You don't have any willpower on the weekends. You eat more. You do all the things during the week. You stay focused during the week. You've got a schedule, an agenda. You've got things that are on your plate that's got to be done, and so you are focused on that, and you're making progress during the week because of having that structure. And
That's it.
getting the weekend, you don't have any structure. You don't have any plan. You don't have any structure. And so then that's when you're bored. And when we're bored, we'll create problem. I'm bored, so I'm going to create a problem by going and eating this or doing this, and then so you can fix that problem later on, kind of deal. So my deal is on the weekend is I have to have something I'm always working towards. And with having that I'm working towards, it starts to make the decision a little bit easier. Like, do I really need to have that? And do I really want that? Same time, having a little bit of structure on the weekend, maybe it is something that you're knowing that you're going to go and have a big meal out and celebrate something, or whatever it may be. It might have been Valentine's Day this past weekend, and it's like I'm going to go, and I know that we're going to splurge a little bit. Then on the weekend, you start to, hey, maybe I don't need to have breakfast, and I'll just not have breakfast and have maybe a protein shake instead, or whatever it may be, so I can save a little bit of those calories for dinner, that side of it. So the biggest thing when it comes to the weekend is the majority of people, they don't have any kind of meals prepped. They're eating out more, they're going more, they have other individuals that are around them that are eating crap, and so then they eat crap too. Maybe you drink a little bit of alcohol, and so your sleep wasn't as good. Maybe you're staying up later in the evening time because it's the weekend, you wanna enjoy yourself and you wanna do whatever, and so it's all these factors, not getting enough sleep, eating a little bit more, maybe having alcohol, whatever it may be, so.
Like you said, it's living a completely different lifestyle than you do during the week. The week you have structure, and I would encourage people to stay busy. Keep your mind focused on working towards something, whether it be what your goals are. Like put your goals on your fridge. Like cuz when you see your goals, and that's the thing is we take our eyes off of where we want to go, and we let those other things start to creep in, like, I think I'm hungry. Think about all the times we get busy, especially up here at work. Like we get in work mode, and we're knocking a lot of stuff out. We forget to eat. But if we're sitting at home, we'll eat something. We'll hang around for about 45 minutes. I think I'm hungry again. No, you're not hungry. Like Seth said, you're bored. So you need to keep yourself busy, and keep your eyes focused on what your goals are and what your targets are.
Also quit looking at days like they're different. Every
Yeah.
day's another day.
Yeah.
You don't work on that day, but still, like, just act like it's a Monday or a Tuesday. It's like, yeah, I'm not having to work and I don't have all these things on my agenda, but I still want to, it's just another day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the world has created that because think about,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to sleep in. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
I
And
get it, and 100%,
yeah.
like, maybe your days do shift a little bit, like, on the weekends, and you do sleep in a little bit, and you don't necessarily have to, but I'm still gonna get up, I'm still gonna get some work done, I'm
Hmm.
get in the Bible, I'm still gonna get in the, uh, I'm still gonna move, I'm still gonna, do all the things I usually would do because that's just it's what I do, it's who I am, but I think we get caught up in this, like, what's the weekend, and so, but it's just like, what's another day?
Yeah.
7 days a week, 24 hours in a day. It's just another day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to work, but still another day. So just go. That's the way I would quit trying to look at as it's a special day. It's like it's a weekend.
For sure. For
That's what
sure.
shouldn't change for me. So like I gotta get my steps in. I gotta do all these things. And so if I look at it where it's like how I used to be was, you know,
I'm going to grind all week to earn the weekend.
yeah. And then the weekend come and be like, I'm so tired, I'm so stressed out, I've got so much other stuff like, and so I would just like tap out and, like, let Crazy Seth tap in, and when Crazy Seth taps in, like, he's not the same dude, so, like, I wanna be dialed in every day, of the direction that I'm headed and where I wanna go, so, we
Yeah.
can make a lot of mistakes when we're not focused in on our daily decisions of who we are,
Yeah, man.
what's aligned with the decisions that we're making, so.
Well, before we touch on the last one, I got a client, and she's pushing real hard to get under 200 pounds. And she's done great. And even on the weekend, she had those non negotiables. I do this, I do this, I do that. And then eventually she started falling into like Sunday just being a day where she would just completely take off. Like, forget the steps, forget the nutrition, forget this and forget that. And she was like, Christian, like, I'm stuck right at like 204, 205. I can't break through that 200. And I'm just stalled out there. And I've been stalled out there. And she was telling me, I was like, well, what's the weekend look like? And she told me, well, Sunday, I don't do anything. At church, I have biscuits and gravy, and I have this. And I told her, I'm like, her body. we love to be comfortable. Something that we've fallen into, and having that comfort food and having those things that we've wired in our head where, oh, I want to do this because this makes me feel comfortable. This is the easier route. That's what's going to keep you stuck and not allow you to make that progress. So that one day of her falling back into a comfortable zone is what was keeping her from hitting her goals and targets that she wanted to achieve. And so what she did is she sat down Sunday at church. She's like, "All right, biscuits and gravy are in front of me. I'm just going to track it to start my day." Because that's the thing, she wouldn't track anything. Forget it. I'm eating whatever I want. She went to go track the biscuits and gravy, and it was one biscuit cut in half with gravy on it, and it was 600 calories for that one biscuit with gravy on it. And she goes, nah, she gave it away.
Person
She
goes to our church.
doesn't go to our church, but I told her, hey, biscuits and gravy, they pass them out at our church too, like crazy. But just one biscuit.
People that eat biscuits and gravy.
She tracked it, and that awareness, she goes, nah, she gave it away to somebody else. And guess what? She came in Monday and she goes, Christian, I lost 2 pounds this weekend. Boom. And that right there, she goes, me seeing that, I don't want to have that Sunday anymore that like I had before. Like, because of the result that I'm seeing. Yep.
Once you're aware of it, you can change it. And that's the thing is, it's like most people don't want to know about how much.
We like to be comfortable.
That's the
Yeah.
hormone thing. Like that's the stuff that I'm talking about. It's like with that is, it's like that lady could easily blame and say that it's her hormones is why she wasn't losing weight.
Mm.
And then what she did was she took a deep dive in and really looked at what she was eating and saw that 600 calories of biscuits and gravy aren't getting me where I need to go.
Yeah.
She didn't eat the biscuits and gravy because she saw the calories are in it, and she dropped 2 pounds. But easily she could have bought into the story that it's her hormones of why she's not losing weight. And that's the only thing that we were trying to do and try to get through when we shot the stupid video, which we made a mistake maybe with shooting the video. If you don't know, you don't know. Don't worry about it. But that's all we were trying to get across is like there are deciding factors on a daily basis that we make that will impact our everything that we do.
Yeah. And with that, it's like, hey, try our way, try to eat the way that we're telling you to eat, try to track the numbers, try to get the steps, try to strength train, try to eat your protein. And if you don't get results off of that, you call me a liar. You can put my face out there and say, hey, this guy's lying. He doesn't know a thing that he's talking about. But first, try the method. If the method doesn't work for you, then I'll admit it. You're special, you're different, but try the method.
The people think they're different. Like we're all created, like, yes, we have different elements, different injuries, different limitations,
Absolutely.
stuff. And I'm not saying that like there's definitely people, but for the most part, it's just us thinking that what we were our stories and our problems and our issues are different. They're not.
All right, last question. Why am I doing everything right and the scale won't move? For me, impatient. So a lot of just clients that I've worked with before is they will do everything right. They will track their steps, they'll track their protein, they'll track their calories, and they'll do it for about 4 days. They won't see anything change on the only metric they can see, which is the scale. So things could be changing. You could be putting on muscle, you could be losing body fat, and the scale doesn't change. And you think, I'm not making progress. But what you're not seeing is you're not seeing how your sleep's improving. You're not seeing how you're showing up for your family. You're not seeing how much better your performance is in the gym. You're not seeing all these other things where you're actually making progress because all you're focused on is that scale moving? I didn't move in 4 days. Screw it. I'm just going to eat whatever I ate before. And then you do that, and then you see the scale maybe drop down a pound, and you go, well, look, I can eat however I want, and the scale lost. No, that's the 4 days of work that you put in before that finally moved that scale. And so you thinking that you having that one day where you go, screw it, I'm going to eat what I want, that's what made you lose weight. It wasn't that. It was the work that you put in, but you're impatient. And so you being impatient didn't allow you to continue to see that fruit. And so the people that get that sustained fruit is the people that are doing the non-negotiables every single day. Those are the people that are getting the progress. And those are the people that you see that are losing 80 pounds, 100 pounds. And you're going, man, I could never be that person. First off, you just told yourself you never could be that person. So you're already telling yourself stories. The second off is you didn't trust the process long enough to get the sustained results.
I'm doing everything around how many days.
Exactly.
And then so yeah, kind of what you were saying there is, yeah, you do everything right for 4 or 5, just with the lady you were just talking about. She
Yeah.
can do everything right for 6 days, but then she can that
That
one
one
day
day.
can blow everything up. So how long, in patience, and how
Yeah.
long are you doing everything right for would be what I would say there as well. So yeah.
And shifting the way that you look at progress, because like I said, that's what people, they always look at the scale, and the scale will tell some of the story, but it tells some of the story. You got to sometimes, and that's why having a coach is important, is to be able to explain to you, hey, you're putting on muscle mass because you're strength training. Oh, you're stressed out at work. You're holding some inflammation from being stressed. Oh, you had food where you ate out. So with the oils, the things that they cook, you're going to hold a little bit of inflammation. So just trusting the process and having somebody that can talk you off that ledge of getting into that screw it mentality, because that's whenever you're not going to make progress. So just putting good people around you. But that was our last question. That's all we got. You got anything you want to close out with?
No, I think that I think we're covering everything. I think oftentimes our way of looking at it, it may be that it's just so cut and dry that people get, and we understand, and we care on another level. At the same time, we've been doing this. We've taken individuals that have struggled their whole life, and we just start making some small pivots, and they start to become, like you're talking about with those clients, is they become aware. And once they become aware, then they can change, because now they know that, like, oh, this is where I was messing up. And so, some of these questions, like, I'm doing everything right. Well, there's just so many factors to doing it.
Yeah.
So, like, even when you feel like you're doing everything right, there's still other factors of, like, how much sleep did you get? How many steps did you get? How many? So, like,
All that
there's
matters.
so much more to it, and blood work and hormones
Oh, yeah.
play a factor in that as well. So,
Yeah.
all we're saying is, let's get to the facts and let's get some blood work done so we can see that stuff. 'Cause that stuff does matter. That stuff is important. But let's start making better decisions on just, what's in front of us right now. Drinking more water, getting more steps, getting in bed at a certain time, quit eating at a certain time. And let's try to uncover and work on all these things, instead of just narrowing it down to, it's carbohydrates is
Hmm.
the reason, or it's my hormones is the reason. And it's go, hey, you know what? There's so many factors to this.
Yeah.
And that's all that we want to get across is like, absolutely. There's factors too that stop individuals from getting the results they want, potentially. But there's also just little bit pivots they can make to get those results. And so that's ultimately what we want to help you with. Our 42 Day Strong, that's what we try to do. That's what we shot the video for, is because, like, 42 Day Strong is, we want to have little simple habits that we're just putting into play for 42 days and changing your focus. And by you doing that for the 42 days, you start to have this aha moment. You start to realize, and you start to see that, like, okay, this is working. And then now you can make a better informed decision. And if it's something that you want to move forward, we take the investment, we reinvest it back in, and we get you through. And that started getting you through the two phases of the vital method, which is the momentum phase and the skill set phase. And that's ultimately what we want to try to help you with, is to get you through there. Because, you know, there's going to be a lot of people that are talking out there, but there's very few that will back up what they say. And so, like, what we do is we back up what we say. We put a guarantee behind it, and just come in, try it out, see what it happens, and we can take it from there. So.
Absolutely. All right. For another episode of Inside the Mill podcast, we'll see you guys in the next one.